Hello, Orville Nation. Hello, Lord Thoth. Kareem is backstage in the chat. Gap Stargate, Belinda, Time Prophet, Colin, Dee Dee Myers, everybody who's in here. Welcome, guys. Oh. Okay, StreamYard's freezing up on me. There we are. Tom Gardner, so many fandoms, Rapunzel, Alan Cox, everybody who's in here, welcome. And we have an amazing program tonight, guys. Of course, Joseph MALLOZZI is here, and Jeff is here as well. So we're going to get into that real quick. And I do want to introduce a really quick guest to talk about how her Dark Chatter podcast launched today. And I'm going to bring in Coco, or Kareen, as we know her. And I want to talk to, she's going to tell us really briefly about how her Dark Chatter podcast launched today. Hello, my friend. How are you? Good to see you.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, there we go. Okay, sorry. How are you, my friend? Congratulations on Dark Chatter.
Thank you. Hold on, sorry. The cat decided to come say hello. Not now, honey. Sorry about that.
I had enough time to listen to half of the podcast. It was great. It was fabulous.
Thank you.
Can you tell people? I'm going to be putting up the link. Can you tell us real quick about it and where to find it?
Yep. So my friend, I convinced him to watch Dark Matter. Finally, woohoo! And he got really into it, and he's like, "Let's do a podcast where we can discuss it." And I was like, "Oh, I'm well up to that because you know me, love talking about things I love, and Dark Matter is one of them." So we decided, let's make a podcast. We've got our own Twitter page, which is Dark Chatter, which the actual name is @chatter_dark. If you go on there, not only is that the home of our podcast, but I do a lot of posting pictures from the show. It's essentially like a fan page for the show as well. But yes, our first podcast dropped today. You can find it. The link is on the Twitter page, and when you go there, it will.
I'm putting it up.
Awesome. Yeah. But yeah, you can listen to it on all sorts of platforms, and if you prefer visual, we even do have it up on YouTube.
Awesome. Now, so I put up the Twitter. Make sure everyone in the chat, and if you're watching on the replay, make sure you go and sub to Dark Chatter Twitter. And right there, you'll find all the information, whether you want to watch it on Spotify or listen to it on Spotify or wherever. It's all there. So thank you, my friend. Thank you, Kareen, for joining us. Congratulations. And hopefully we'll have a lot more great news from Dark Chatter in the coming weeks. And hopefully you'll be back, be able to join us again on the panel soon.
Yes, I would love to do that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kareen. Have an awesome day. Thank you, my friend. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Kareen. And okay, we are ready to begin. Thank you, my friend. Just great news. What a magnificent community. What a magnificent community Joe has put together. This is all because of Joe. It's all Joe's fault. He's saying no in the green room. Let's bring in ladies first, meteorologist Katie. Hello, meteorologist Katie.
Hello, how are you?
Good to see you.
Good
What's
to see
new?
you.
What's new in so many fandoms? And
Yes.
are you on Survivor yet? Is the big question.
I wish. Although I heard that they're continuing casting in August. So we're fingers crossed for August. Hear something back. But yeah, no, everything's going great. We're still doing Order of the Blue Lotus, which is Avatar: The Last Airbender podcast. Feel free to watch if you haven't seen Avatar. Watch if you have. We're really excited for it. And also, I'm doing a little bit of a name change. It's something that I've been toying with just because there is that anime so many fandoms, and I have a feeling that, I want to stand out. So I'm going to be so many random fandoms here in a little bit.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Just because it's really quite true. There's no sense to the chaos that is my channel.
Okay. All right. I like that. Okay. So many random fandoms. That's cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
A little rhyme.
Congratulations. Awesome. And you still doing the Wednesday podcast?
Yes, we are. Wednesday, 5:30 Central, 6:30 Eastern. Haha, time zones.
Alrighty. Awesome. And let's bring in the infinitely Nina Infinity. Hello, Nina.
Hey, what's going on, PJ? Hey,
How
Katie.
are you?
Good. How are you?
It's good to have you back from your hiatus. You finally came back last week.
Yes, I'm super excited to be here. It's going to be an amazing show. You guys can catch me on my channel. I do reviews and stuff like that. And you can catch me tonight on Midnight's Edge for Toxic Femininity. And Fridays, I do Good News. And Wednesdays, I do Infinite Talk with John Talk. So this Wednesday, it'll be on his channel. So check his channel out if you want to catch me out there.
Awesome. And I want to remind everybody to please for the links that we have for meteorologist Katie, for Nina Infinity, for everybody.
I just put them in the chat. So
yeah. Thank you, Nina. Thank you. Please make sure you subscribe to all of them and to each other. You guys all know you guys are welcome to post to your channels. Those of you who have wrenches, welcome to do so during the program. So please do. And I want to bring in, of course, Dr. Odega Outlaw. There he is. Hello, Doctor.
Hello. How's it going?
I saw you telling people not to buy your book this week. You told them to wait.
Yeah, right? Because it's an Amazon thing. You know, I have nothing to do with it. I don't know where they got them. They stopped printing them, and yet they're selling them. So I don't know what's going on over there. So the new ones will be reprinted sometime this year, and then the second book will be printed sometime this year. And I also got other news, which I promised I'd tell you today.
Please do.
There was, I don't know how they got a hold of it. This group started checking out my channel, and they contacted the musician. They knew the musician that I used the music for, and asked me to be a scriptwriter for their program. It's a YouTube channel. Ooh. Some of you may know they have, the main channel was 3.4 million subscribers, top fives. They do all the science-y, spooky top 5 type of things, and they want me to write scripts for it. So I'm going to do it. In about a month or two, you might see one of my first articles. You know, they're 20-minute vignettes of 5 different weird things out in the universe. And so it's going to be fun. I'm really excited. And I was very flattered that they actually looked me up and said, hey, you know what? We like how you write. Let's do it. So cool.
Sweet.
Yay.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Odega.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Awesome. Wow. Awesome. Can you say the channel? Because I don't think you said it.
Yeah, Top Fives is the main one, but they have other ones where they do. Top Fives basically had dealt with what's weird in history, weird animals, spooky stories. They do a lot of spooky stories, 5 of each. Here's 5 of this tale, 5 of that tale. But then they got into doing unsolved mysteries or space stuff, So it's I'm gonna be in any one of those channels. But like I said, most of them are in the multi-million subscriber channels. But Top Fives is the main one. And like I said, they contacted me last week and they said, hey, you know what? How about writing for us? And I said, oh, twisting my arm a little.
Yeah.
Congratulations, my friend. Awesome. Wow.
Thank you.
And of course, we have to bring in Baron Destructo himself, who I'm sure he is up to his ears in writing scripts and proposals and pitches, and Joe is as busy as ever. Welcome, Joe. Thank you for taking the time for joining us.
Thank you, and thank you for the kind words, PJ. But I have to say, you did all the legwork in creating this community. So, although I did create the show, you created the community. So thank you, and thank you all rest of the panel members. I apologize. I'm kind of giddy. For some reason, I woke up at like 3:30 this morning and couldn't get back to sleep. So I'm going to be a little punchy today. So it should be
That's
awesome.
great.
I like spicy Joe.
Further
Right.
ado, I would like to present an actor I worked with on my last two shows, Dark Matter, where he was introduced as a, I think he had like one line in his first, or maybe, I think maybe one or two lines in his first episode. But when I cast him, I knew I would be having him back because his character would grow. And, he came in and did those few lines, and then he came back and did this excellent scene where he walked down the corridor, and then he really delivered. And he's become one of my favorite guys to work with, so much so that, I really championed for him on my last show, Utopia Falls, where he played the role of Gerald, but on Dark Matter, better known as Lieutenant John Anders, the lovely and talented Jeff Teravainen.
Hey, Jeff.
Welcome,
Thank
Jeff. Thank you for
Welcome.
joining us.
Oh, my pleasure, and thank you so much, Joe. As you know,
And you guys will notice that Jeff is sounding 100 times better than me because he actually went and created a proper studio. That sounds great, Jeff.
just for this event.
Yeah.
We
Wow.
are.
Your audio quality is top notch.
A lot happens in here.
You know what? Since I brought that up, do you want to tell us about your studio just to break the ice a little bit? Because you do a lot of voice work.
Yeah, I've been very fortunate. I call this the Octagon. There's actually 8 angles in here. So, but it's the best investment I ever made because obviously with COVID, it's a challenge for studios to be functioning. So I've been working through a program called Source Connect here, and I do voice for all over the world. This morning was for London, England, and
Wow.
a lot of stuff for LA, and it's incredible. A lot of TV. Just did a documentary this morning. So yeah, it's fun.
Cool.
Can you say this is WKRB in the morning?
My voice is actually shot right now, but I'll try. This is WKLB in the morning. Yeah, it's gone.
Amazing.
Nice.
Wow, that
Nice.
was
Totally
great.
listen to your station.
I did two episodes this morning of it's the second series of a documentary I did last year. It's an amazing show, but 2 episodes full of heavy duty Russian names, titles, and then even Inuit stuff.
Oh.
The name, honestly, were this big. And with my last name as it is, people butcher it all the time. I'm used to it, but I don't want to butcher other people's names. So I'm very careful. These names were like I've never seen. So
Oh,
it was a
man.
challenge.
That's funny.
Joe, can you retell us again how you gentlemen met? How did you guys meet?
Yeah, well, we were casting for what was it, episode 108, where Roger Cross's character, Six, goes after the general, and he encounters one of the general's lieutenants, and there's a scene where he thought he killed the general, but he was a clone, and he's sitting there alone, and then Jeff's character, who was introduced earlier, comes in, and then the next thing you know, Six is alone, and eagle-eyed viewers may have wondered, well, what the hell went on in that scene? Why did that guy let him go? And you get a bit of a hint in Jeff's second appearance, which is basically just a snippet at the end of the season 1 finale, where the mole is revealed to be Six, and he is walking alongside the familiar face of Lieutenant, who discovered to be Lieutenant Anders of the Galactic Authority. And then in episode 1 of season 2, that's where Jeff really gets to sort of sink his teeth into the role, and really was the performance that I thought, wow, this guy has chops.
Very cool, yeah, and definitely has chops. Absolutely. So the last episode we had actually finished. One of the images we had at the last episode was of Jeff in the.
It's an interesting character because we introduce him as kind of a very peripheral character, and then he comes back for just kind of one scene, and if you watch the show closely enough, you will recognize him as a familiar face. And then he appears in the two-parter, and we seemingly kill him off. And then he appears at the end of season 2, once again, as a familiar face. If you watch the show, you will recognize it. Kind of looming over a 3 kind of going in and out of consciousness.
Imagine you're about to faint and you just see like that face. It's like, oh gosh, I'm in for a lot of trouble.
Pain.
Now, before we continue, do you want to give any fans that are listening an update on whether what's going on with Utopia Falls? Will it continue? Will it not?
Oh yeah, so Jeff and I worked again on a show called Utopia Falls, which wasn't my show. I didn't create it, but I developed it, and with the creator RT Thorne, and I did showrun the show. It was kind of a very atypical show for me, in that I'm more kind of a Stargate and dark matter guy. This is very kind of YA, very music themed, very hip hop themed. And when I was offered the job, I actually told the creator, "I'm sci-fi, I'm not hip hop." And he was like, "Well, actually, I'm hip hop, so we got it covered." And there is one of my favorite scenes actually with Jeff opposite another excellent actor, yeah. Kate Drummond, who plays the role of Phaedra. So as for Utopia Falls, we premiered, or all the episodes dropped. Was it February of 2020, and then it's kind of been radio silence. Not on the part of the fandom has been fantastic. Like on Twitter especially, they've really responded to the show. But we haven't heard anything about a second season, and the fact that it's been over a year would lead me to assume that a second season is probably not in the cards, sadly.
I've seen most of that season, and Jeff, you were great in that role. Is there anything you want to share with people from the Dark Matter community who haven't seen it? Is there anything you want to share about the character?
Yeah, I mean, my character was really fun to play. He was a little different. He was not a fighter or anything like that by any means. He was one of the rulers of the society they live in, but he loved his daughter, who is the main character, I would say, in the show. And it was fun for me. I got to do some really great sensitive moments. There's I think it's episode 10. We has a big moment with his daughter, and it's a real tearjerker, at least for me. I even watching it again, I was like, man, that was a great scene. I love to do more of those kind of things. But I don't know, hopefully they get a chance to tell the rest of the story. There's a lot more to it. I know the way that one of the actors on there, Umberly, is blowing up. Maybe she alone can get the thing going, because she's on Ginny and Georgia, I believe it's called, and that show's taken off. So maybe
she's also the new Philadelphia cream cheese angel.
Ooh.
Really?
She's everywhere.
Yeah. But by the way, Jeff, were you disappointed that you didn't get to do any singing and dancing on the show? Because like most of the cast did.
Yeah, but those days are done.
Was that? No. I mean, I know you sing, right? And you were lead singer in a rock band, right?
Yeah, I mean, we had videos and much music and stuff, and those were the days. If you look me up, I got hair down to my rear end, and it was a good time. But I don't remember who that guy was anymore.
You got some like Greatest Showman vibes. I can see it.
I don't know what I had, but it's not me anymore. That's for sure.
Thank you, Elihu. Yes, continue the MALLOZZI verse. Dark Matter Season 4 now. Hashtag Dark Matter Season 4. Yes, Elihu. Thank you, Elihu.
Yes.
Absolutely. As I did mention that I'm putting together some pitches because I'm going to be going out and pitching next week. And then the week after that, my agent is bugging me to pitch another place. And I intend to go in with 3 original pitches. I'm going in with 3.5 pitches, 3 original pitches, and the half is my pitch for a Dark Matter miniseries. So, hopefully within a month, we will know.
Sweet.
Really? Joe, that's amazing news.
That's
We'll
so
see.
Be the best in the
exciting.
world.
We'll see. We'll see.
That's exciting. Wow.
I mean, I'm constantly amazed by how many people that I run into. Even the other day when I was having my furnace looked at, the conversation comes up, what do you do for a living? Because they saw these things on my wall. I said I was an actor, and he was, what are you in? The usual question. And when I said dark matter, he knew right away. And he goes, oh my God, I know you. And he's actually talking about the scene when we walked down the hall at the end of the thing. I was surprised that he remembers that, but it is such a cool scene, though. But yeah, he freaked right out.
Yes, Mr. Miles. Absolutely. Mr. Miles is here. Wow. All righty. So we kick off the episode. Let me bring up this image and
We do have these pauses for image recovery.
excuse me, yeah. And while we have this pause, there's somebody else who is going to join the panel, and she will help us go through this pause. Welcome, Angela. Welcome, Angela.
Hey,
Hello. How goes?
Angela.
Hey,
We're actually
everybody.
talking in real life. Oh my God.
That's what I meant by we'd be in the same place.
I didn't understand that. It's
I know
tax
you
season.
didn't. You weren't supposed to.
That's
Hi,
amazing.
everybody. Hi, Joe.
Hey, how it goes?
Thank you for joining us, Angela.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here, y'all.
And you guys remember author Angela, who we have, Angela Daniels, who we've interviewed before. And
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet y'all.
Love the accent.
Oh, thank you.
I've spent so much time chasing down South. I love Southern accents.
Well, I'm definitely Southern, so
Where you at?
Texas.
Nice.
Oh,
Ooh, you
Yeah,
got
so
some
down here on the
tomatoes.
coast.
Sweet. All right, so you got hurricanes too.
Lots of them.
All right. Well, if you ever have one, I might come a calling.
I
Jeff,
would
can
love to hook you up.
Jeff, can I ask you a question? Because I know you've done a lot of voiceover work for video games and anime and all sorts of like that kind of stuff. Do you have any advice for anyone who wants to break out into like the voice acting scene? Like what kind of advice would you have?
Well, I get asked a lot. And depending on where you live, the biggest thing I would say is try to find a reputable place that teaches voice work, because there's everything from technique, like microphone technique, to interpreting scripts and that sort of thing. And it's a lot harder than it initially seems. Like, it seems like you just get up and you start speaking. So I always tell people, if there's a place near you, if you're in a major city, they might have a good course. Try that, because also a lot of them are affiliated with casting directors. So if you do a good job for them there, then you've got a first, you're first in line when they're looking for things. So yeah, I think that's the best way to start.
That's cool. Thank you.
My pleasure.
And I do want to also thank you, Nina, for bringing this up. Jeff has been involved in so many projects, everything from 12 Monkeys, Designated Survivor, The Expanse, Far Cry, so many video game projects as well. You are all over the place, Jeff.
Yeah, man. I'm a video game junkie to a degree, so I love playing them. I mean, this past year, I landed a dream role. I've become the new Sam Fisher. We did Rainbow Six Siege, the Tom Clancy franchise stuff. So we did that, and then the plan is to do more going forward. But I've played every game since the beginning, so to get that character is a big deal in my
Really
eyes.
deep dive into the research, right? Into the world. You can write those games off, of course.
Oh yeah, of course.
That's amazing. I also saw that you done, as Fija mentioned, you done work on The Expanse. How was that? I love The Expanse. I'm so into The Expanse. So tell us.
If you guys had a few hours, I would give you the whole lowdown on The Expanse.
Oh, that's so good.
It's how do I explain this? Okay, I was in The Expanse. I was going to Grand Prix weekend in Montreal for the first time I was away from my family since we had our daughter. And I did not want an audition, and they gave me one. And they kept telling me, you need to do this. It's with Chad Coleman. The scenes are amazing. And finally I said, I'll do it. And of course I spent all weekend learning lines. I'm in the shower. I'm at the track. The Formula One cars are going by. And I'm like, and I did it. I landed it. And then we got a rewrite. And the rewrite went from Chad Coleman and I having this amazing scene to me on an iPad with him having an amazing scene, which turned into another rewrite, which became me on an iPad with Kara G, who's great, but Chad Coleman is like one of my heroes from The Wire and all these shows.
Mm-hmm.
And then it became something else. So I wanted to get off it. And my agent convinced me to do it, which I did. And I was actually shooting Dark Matter. I'm trying to remember the episode. We were shooting Hamilton. Paul Day was directing. And Paul Day.
Episode 307.
Yeah, well, you would know.
Off the top of my head.
He edited a lot of those shows. And I remember telling him I was really excited to go home that night because I was on the episode, because I love the show. And Paul said, you were? And then he came back to me a little bit later on. He goes, I hate to say this, but we reshot that the whole episode pretty much was rewrote and reshot. And I wasn't on anymore. I got a credit, but I wasn't on it. So it was,
that's
one
why
of those
that's why I
devastating
don't
moments.
remember you, because I'm like, I swear I've seen The Expanse like a million times and I don't remember.
My name's in the credits.
And just to be clear, Jeff,
You're muted, Angela.
Oh, Angela, I'm sorry. I wanted to tell you, unmute yourself when you want to talk because we were getting feedback from your mic. So you're gonna have to unmute yourself.
There you go.
Okay then. Well, all right
There
then.
she
I
is.
got it. But no, I was just gonna say I felt really bad because I had no idea what he was talking about with The Expanse.
Yeah.
And I'm supposed to know everything, right?
Well, you didn't miss anything there. It was
Okay.
it was good scenes, but unfortunately.
Really important as well. It's true. You're the new Sam Fisher, Jeff?
Yeah.
I just realized that a couple of hours ago, and Mr. Miles just brought it up in the chat. That's amazing. That for the Splinter Cell series. Wow.
It's
That's amazing.
honestly, it's a dream come true because I've played every episode or every game. I've read the books. So when I auditioned for, I think 4 times, and it was named somebody else. And when they finally told me, I lost my mind. I couldn't believe that. My agent was, Jeff, you're not going to believe who this actually is because it was some weird name. And when they told me, I literally fell back. I thought, I can't believe I'm playing Sam Fisher. So it's
You took over for, is it because there's a gap for me there. Did you take over for Michael Ironside?
Officially, yeah. The problem is Michael has been fighting a couple different forms of cancer, I believe, plus COVID and everything else in the thing. So I don't think he was too excited about coming into the mocap studio on that. So it fell in my lap that way. Going forward, hopefully I get to hold on to it, but you never know. I think he's 73 now though. So I don't know what happens. I'm just fingers are crossed.
Wow. Congratulations and hope best wishes to Michael Ironside.
Yeah.
But even still, we could see your body language. It really is a big deal for you. Congratulations.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Thank you, John Burns. Angela, I think you'd enjoy seeing a Calgary Flames hockey game. What the team scores when they show an animation of Yosemite? Sam saying Yahoo, welcome. Thank you, John Burns. Thank you, John Burns. Of course, Calgary. So we begin the episode with the crew of the Raza escaping the space station, and Tori Higginson's character was able enough to get 5 out on one end.
I say also, I absolutely love Tori in this episode. She
has so much sass.
Yeah, she absolutely does. Sass and swagger.
Absolutely.
She kills every scene.
Mm-hmm.
Just watching the episode this week, whenever she came on screen, I was like, she is owning this.
And she got to fire a gun. She got to actually two-fist the guns.
Pew, pew.
That's right.
That was a really badass scene too. You could really tell she was enjoying that.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one I was talking about yesterday, like the last time we were talking.
We also had some great special effects, Joe. In these shots.
Again, kudos to Lauren Bancroft Wilson, our visual effects supervisor, and his team. Just some gorgeous shots of the dispersed debris, the floating debris, and the Marauder kind of floating amongst kind of the sea of shrapnel.
I was so relieved when they all actually survived.
Did you
It's like
think in the back of your
genuine.
mind that it was possible? Like I might kill off one more character in addition
Just
to Nick?
one? I could have killed off like 2 or something for all I know. Oh gosh. Yeah, no, there was relief. Eventually I was sitting there like, okay, where's 3? Where's 3? Come on, Joe. And then eventually he shows up. I'm like, okay, I can relax a little bit.
And right at the beginning, we see Jeff's character appear again, having saved 3. And there was a very bonding episode between you and Anthony Lemke.
That was a lot of fun to shoot. I got to know obviously Anthony a lot more, and I believe it was Ron Murphy that directed. He's a fun guy as well. He's a really fun director to work with. But we had a ball. There's so many funny stories from that episode. I really enjoyed it. That's one thing I learned a lot too from Roger Cross, is that I started to enjoy what I was doing more, as opposed to being freaked out on set all the time about doing a good job. They taught me how to relax and that sort of thing.
You did have one of the funniest scenes of the show, though, when he pinned you down and was going like this in front of your face. That's normally a guy-girl type of scene there. You know?
You know what's funny about that is that, again, I was so paranoid about my P's and Q's, making sure I did a good job and all that stuff, that I was overdosing on mints because I knew we were going to be face to face. But we had just had lunch, and I don't know what he ate, but it was like garlic from hell, something else. It was funny. and it worked. So after that, I kind of let loose and went and had a sandwich or something, and didn't. So it was just funny. The two of us were in this chemical warfare thing.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Well,
Angela,
amongst our crew, we know that he tends to be the one who eats on stage a lot, so not surprised.
were you going to ask something, Angela?
No, I'm just having trouble staying connected. Y'all carry on.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
No, I think I stabilized it.
I want to know about this casino.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you, Culture Casino. Here to show some love. I wish I could stay. I'll catch the replay. Miss you guys. Okay. Thank you, Culture. Yeah, Culture has been on our panel before. Thank you, my friend. Okay.
I missed Cameron.
So we see that Jeff's character. I'm having a little difficulty with my computer, guys.
Well,
So
don't worry about the visuals.
Okay.
We know the episode by heart. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's been
Now, we
committed
shot-
to memory.
That warehouse where we shot was located. It was like one of our 2 sound stages where we kept the Marauder. And were you on set? I guess was that the production where basically the place was raided?
By the police, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, in the middle of the production.
really?
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
What did you do?
It was a counterfeit ring, right?
I think so.
What?
Yeah, it was full of counterfeit
What?
goods. And the
So
police
basically,
came
yeah.
storming in.
Yeah, we had the sound stage, but it was connected to this warehouse, and so we asked the owner if we could shoot there, and we were shooting there, and you know, I was in the office, and I remember Robbie David coming in and going, they just shut down. The police just came in and shut down production. I was like, what do we do? Originally I thought, you know, we pay a permit or something, and it's like, no, I'm going to head over and find out. And so we got in the car and drove over to yeah. But
They
I
had
mean,
everybody.
they were actually very nice about it. They actually ended up allowing the production to resume shooting shortly after, you know, doing their thing and arresting whoever needed to be arrested.
You weren't hiding any of the counterfeit goods on the Marauder, just keep them secret.
But I remember part of the deal was that they had to keep doing their investigation, so they'd be out opening lockers. So Anthony and I were in. I remember a couple scenes where, you know, it's a big intense thing. You're halfway through, and all of a sudden it's like bang, 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 and you realize that they're hammering locks off, you know, just a few feet away of some locker or something like that. Plus, I had my laser blaster when the cops came in with their guns and all stuff.
Hi.
Oh, it's fake.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
How often does that happen on set?
That was
Not
a
on.
first. That was a first for me.
This was in Montreal, right?
Nope, Toronto.
Toronto.
Toronto. Okay.
But I think it's indicative that the industry had grown so much that everybody needed space somewhere, so you weren't in a traditional studio. So maybe that's what happened, I guess.
Yeah, just tough. I mean, for instance, I remember shooting in Vancouver. We shot those forests in Vancouver over the course of like those 20 years of Stargate so many times. I remember watching Bates Motel that shoots in Vancouver. I didn't know it shot in Vancouver, but there was a scene that took place in the forest, and it's like I recognized the log and stone. I was like, this
That's funny.
production shoots in Vancouver.
Yeah,
Sure.
they had the main house or whatever shoots in Vancouver, like around BC as well. I remember I drove by that house once. It was crazy. Also, I know usually Odega asks this, but since PJ's not here, I'm gonna ask it, Odega. I'm gonna ask you a question. Were you part of the whiskey club?
Didn't hear you.
Jeff,
I was talking over you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, Odega.
No. I accidentally. I just agreed to go for it.
No, I was just asking if you were part of the whiskey club, Jeff.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
During Dark Matter, I think towards the end, I was in Joe's office a few times for that. But I remember I got you something when we were on Utopia Falls as well, and you made me come and sit with you. And since then, I love whiskey. That was the defining moment. Now I buy it all the time now. So that started it.
Joe is turning everyone into like whiskey heads.
You make it like a very positive thing now. Maybe 10 years from now, it's going to be like, you turned me on to whiskey. It's your fault.
There you go.
My second liver
10 years.
Uh-oh.
Wait, PJ's got it sorted out.
I think so. Jeff, now, did you actually have to ask? Did you actually have to drag Anthony?
I blew my hands apart trying to. He's heavier than he looks.
Oh wow!
There's the magic of Hollywood. There's like a little, I don't know, thing at the end of his suit where I would grab, and I guess he had a harness underneath, so I could drag him without ripping the suit. And yeah, he's a lot heavier than he looks. So
I remember shooting
fun.
that scene. There was that patch of gravel, and then all green screen. And then you had the big fans for the for the wind and atmosphere. There's like a video somewhere.
That thing, I made a video myself of the before and after. I wish I should have shared it today with you guys because it looks so freaking cool. Of us working with the green screen and then the actual finished product. The product looks so epic. Just even when I rise into a picture, it's like I swear to God, you're looking at a real scene. They did such a good job with the effects on that.
Wow.
See, this scene gave me flashbacks to elementary school because we had a gravel playground because adults thought that was a great idea. And for some reason, we would drag each other across in races. And I just on a physical level, shuddered at how many stones would have gotten in his pants. So
Probably true. I think what those stones there are actually like ground up pieces of tire, like rubber in that, I believe.
Ooh.
Oh.
A little bit better, but still. Ugh.
Oh, just a heads up, Jeff. Katie is watching it episodically for the first time, so she doesn't know beyond this. So no spoiler. You weren't even close to it. But just in case you ever get tempted, we try and keep her still on the inexperienced side.
Good to know. Good to know.
And so a lot of the episode for you takes part within the confines of the of this warehouse. It was an interesting episode, Joe, because Joe even finds time at the end to make another great surprise and reveal.
Yes.
Katie, any comments on that? On that? Did you expect that reveal at the end?
I was sitting there just thinking, oh, so Five's going to be the problem child this episode, thinking, what's she screwing with? And then it just pops up like, oh my gosh. Like it was one of those surprises that I was happy to see. not a explosion, death, pew pew. It was actually, hey, look at that.
That's actually one of the story lines that were kind of put in play back in season 1, and it's kind of very subtle, though I remember actually some of the fans picked up on it. But there's that scene where Sarah is presumably dead and 5 is alone, kind of with her in the stasis pod, and you basically it's a shot of 5 kind of looking at the pod, and then she kind of tilts her head as if she's thinking, and it's just a small thing that some of the fans noticed. But on second viewing, if you go back and see that, you'll realize that's where she gets the germ of the idea to kind of upload the consciousness and see if she can make it work.
Oh man, I wonder how 3 is going to react to this. I can see it going one of 2 ways.
I got to tell you this funny thing. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I don't want to cut you off.
No, that's what I said, or both.
There's a funny story. I watched this when the episode came out. I was so excited, and I was at the Grand Prix of Montreal for that weekend. So I had to find a place that had Space Channel, and we found it in a bar downtown. So they put it up on all the speakers, and it was the coolest thing in the world because, it was just my friend and I sitting at the bar, and then one by one, people around the room would be like, "Hey, I really I was probably the 3rd most drunkest in my life." So I barely remember initially watching it because literally everybody's like, "Hey," and then they'd send me a shot and shot after shot. So I was completely annihilated by the second act.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah, it was
man.
It's a good thing you're a rocker. You know how to drink.
Well,
There you go.
not those levels anymore, man. That's crazy. It was a good sort of
great.
memory.
That is funny though. That had to feel good. I mean, not the alcohol part, but just having everyone saying "love your work," pointing at you. You're the star of the show. That had to have been cool.
It was fun. I mean, I'm sure they didn't know who I was. They just kept seeing me on the TV, so it was just bizarre.
Yeah.
And then everybody get excited at the bar around me, but yeah, the drinks killed me after a while.
That's all right.
A lot of other non-PG stories.
Nice. Now, nothing can quite prepare you for seeing yourself on TV for the first time, I imagine.
Yeah, I guess it's weird. That one was great, though, because the whole episode was amazing. So it was entertaining, right? There was just always something really cool going on in that one. I consider that to be one of my favorite episodes of the whole series.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It was one of those episodes, like I keep on saying, I'll watch episodes again, and some I will love more than I did. Some I will actually dislike more than I did. But this one actually I liked. I kind of tend to like, and I tend to like to write episodes where there's a lot of intercutting, where you're splitting up the team, and so you got a group here, you got a group here, you got a group here, and then you find a way to kind of make it all dovetail, hopefully at the end.
Do you have a favorite, Joe?
I kind of like the funny ones. Basically, I think there's a tie between episode 304 and 309, which are basically, Katie, you're the best is yet to come, in my opinion. But
Okay.
There's still some episodes that I love from the earlier seasons as well. Those moments like the end of episode 212 where your buddy Alex Malari Jr. ends up turning the tables on everything and massacring the entire royal court.
Yeah.
So
one of my favorite. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, actually, no. Go ahead. Because I was going to follow up by asking you about your friendship with Alex, but go ahead.
Oh, I love Alex. One of my favorite episodes or scenes of the entire series was Alex and where's my brain?
Ella?
Sorry, my brain. When they're doing the table scene, when they're tied to the table. I watched that again recently, and that was so well done.
Which
the one I'm talking about, when they're both tied to the table and they have to get away and the table tips
Oh,
over.
that's not Alex. That's you mean Anthony and
yeah.
Mark. Yeah.
Mark, yeah. Sorry, my brain shot.
Yes.
I'm going to blame it on taxes again. I'm doing taxes right now.
Oh,
But yeah, that would be my favorite. Like all the scenes of the whole show.
Yeah. Thank you. I
I
always
remember
like
thinking
the
I'd
kind
be
of
so
funny
afraid.
scenes.
Now, but you didn't. You don't interact that much with 4 though, right? In the show, right?
No, and you know, there's a funny story as well. We did a Comic-Con a few years ago. I had one scene where everybody was in the show, and that's the one I got shot in when Roger shoots me. And so I had a brief sort of time with Alex, you know, here and there, but that was it. So I always thought of him as the character, this very serious dude, you know. So when we went to London, we did this Comic-Con, and I expected that, and he turned out to be the funniest, craziest. He's completely nuts. And him and I lived together when we were in LA for a while. Every morning I would walk out into cellophane tape in my head. You know, you name it. I had a meeting, a really important meeting, and at the same time he decided to pretend that he had busted his leg or something. I have it on video. He's screaming his head off, and I'm just taking this important call, and he's on the ground writhing and that's the kind of stuff he can do constantly. Yeah, he's nuts, but he's one of my best friends. He's amazing.
Aww.
And he's doing well, so I'm happy for him.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Just he dropped by a couple of weeks ago. He dropped by from where was he? Costa Rica or
Some
where he was
nice
shooting?
resort that he hated.
I think it was
He's gone
Costa Rica,
from, yeah, Costa Rica and Vancouver. Before that, doing these giant features, he's become the dude.
Yeah.
But it couldn't happen to a better guy.
Yeah,
right?
good guy.
Thank you, John Burns. Yeah, killing off an actor like Chris Holden Reed should be added to the Geneva Convention. Still not over that, Joe.
All right.
How dare you?
Poor Chris had to go on one of his other 30 shows he's on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And thank you again, John. The cops heard about the whiskey club.
Just lock the door.
And thank you, John Burns, for your very generous super chats and your support, John. Thank you. Speaking about 4, we see 4 here freeing his mentor, and somebody who apparently cannot get on his bad side compared, to everybody else.
Yeah, this is Andrew Moody is the name of the actor who is, just kind of wonderful, an incredibly nice guy. I just really love his character of Teku and the kind of, the classic angel and devil on your shoulder, except it's Teku and Masaki for Ryo Ishida, and how that will play out over the course of the season.
Yeah, very interesting character that Joe's introduced, and here we see that Anthony Lemke at certain points looks like he's been in a zombie movie. Yeah,
He did have a couple pipes hit him, I think, right?
Yeah, he got
man.
kicked a few times, and
that's right.
He got kicked in the face.
Mm-hmm.
That's gotta hurt. Jeff, I have a question for you. Sorry, non-dark matter related. I noticed that you have a YouTube channel now. Do you have anything coming up for that? Or I put your channel in the chat so people can subscribe, but do you have any plans for your YouTube channel?
Yeah, one of these days when the taxes are done. I'm pretty active on Instagram and definitely Twitter too, but I haven't had much of a chance, but I will do something eventually. I have a lot of music and things from the past I'll probably throw up there and come up with something fun with my daughter. Probably she's more creative than I am.
Cool.
So,
All right.
That could be a really fun outlet for your fans, Jeff. And raise your hand in the chat if you want to see Jeff develop his YouTube channel, and you can raise your hands on the channel too.
For sure.
Now I got to think of something good. Something.
Doesn't even have to be good. People are going to watch it anyway.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
could actually read, some of my book on your YouTube channel. Everybody wants that.
So
There
read
you
from
go.
it. That's what I need.
I'm not the only one that wants that. Ask anybody here in the chat right now.
You can also
Absolutely.
do channel intros for people. I'm sure they'll pay. For example, like mine's Nina Infinity. You can be like, for an infinitely good time, go to Nina Infinity's channel and your beautiful sexy voice.
She's
and I'll be
asking.
like, oh my god.
If I ever get my voice back.
There you go.
That's one of the things about video games is that you have to do these things called onos, which you're always afraid of because I always worry I'll never get my voice back, but it's dying in a fire for 3 seconds die in a fire for 5 seconds, die in a fire for 8 seconds. And
Oh man.
they want it as real as possible. And you do that for a full afternoon, and then you can't speak for 2 days. And then it's
Sure.
like, my career is over.
Joe, do you want to take Colin's question? Was the scene between 2 and Nyx always supposed to feature Nyx, or was there ever a chance of being one?
Actually, I did consider one. But
Really?
ultimately, yeah, just because it was kind of the first, it was actually fairly even. I mean, one was her first big loss, whereas sort of Nyx was most recent, but ultimately Nyx makes more sense for reasons that get paid off later on down the line.
Ooh.
That was such a good scene, too.
Yeah.
See, I thought that too, because I thought more like, because one was kind of like her lover, that it would have made more sense if it was him, but then what you just said also makes sense.
And here's a question for Jeff. Are you hoping to be a director because you are growing a beard, says Time Pop?
I would love to do that someday, but I also know and respect what goes on in being a director. It's, I think a lot of actors talk about wanting to do it, but man, the people that I've worked with, they have to work so hard, and there's so much involved in doing a great job of it. I had a long way to go before I get anywhere near that. I just got to figure out acting first.
And any other ideas behind the camera besides directing?
Again, it's a technical thing. I love photography. If you follow me on Instagram, I try to post shots that that I take there, and I absolutely love doing it. If it was just for me, I'd just post that stuff all the time. And some people have said, you should get into cinematography. But again, having just done a movie with a good cinematographer, I see what's involved in it, and these guys are wizards. They're so good at lighting and figuring things out. I do it all intuitively. Whatever I do, I don't know the technical aspects of it. So again, I have huge respect for these guys, gals too.
Wow. Thank you, Jeff. Tonight's Yuri's night. I didn't realize that. Toast the
Yuri's
first person in space.
Oh,
Yuri
very
Gagarin.
Ooh.
Yep.
Okay.
Jeff,
Yeah.
what was the movie you're talking about?
The movie I just finished, it's got a working title of Deadly Divorce Party, which sounds kind of weird. but
Wow.
it's,
That sounds really cool.
yeah, it was fun. It was.
What's the genre?
It's sort of a murder mystery thing, and I'm one of the leads in it, so it was a busy schedule, but it was a lot of fun. I worked with Roxanne Boisvert as the director. She's amazing. I worked with her as a producer many times, and she's turned out to be a great director as well. So we had a ball.
It sounded like a comedy, Deadly
I was
Divorce.
thinking that too.
No.
Wow.
Deadly serious affair. Yeah.
All right, I want everybody to stop what they're doing. If you want Jeff to make YouTube content, go to his channel right now. Gap has it right there in the chat, and go to Jeff's channel right now. Make sure you sub. He needs subs. He just started.
I got to put something on there now. The pressure is on. Get my monkey out there somehow.
And let's see. Whoops. Okay.
A moment ago, you were talking about you enjoy doing the comedy ones, and this one had one scene I had to tweet about it. I'm small time Twitter, but I got some responses from people I didn't know, like some cook in Italy, where the android goes, "I made it. Oh, the secret ingredient is basil and love, but mostly basil." I loved that. I thought that was great.
Great line.
Typical Android.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but at the beginning of the episode, she was so just flat, yes, no. I was like, oh gosh, what did Ford do to her? Is something wrong with her? And then she was kind of okay at the end. I was like, I still don't fully trust the situation, but I'm at least okay with it for now. So in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, oh, it's a duplicate. It's an evil twin from a parallel universe. I don't know.
You're so untrusting. So suspicious
I
by
wonder
nature.
why.
It's all your fault, Joe. You're causing people to have trust issues and become alcoholics.
Oh.
There's major
Terrible influence.
You did something with your life.
Yeah. I feel like I've accomplished something then, but thank you for that.
And this reminds me of something I wanted to bring up, because so many sci-fi shows, a couple of blasts, the ships blow up, where in reality you would think of them having enough defenses or weaponry be so balanced that these things drag out for a while. This wasn't one shot, boom, it's all over. It took some time, except for the surprise attack. And I always like that about well-written stuff.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, this just takes me back to like, the space battles I would read, not only as a kid, but even sort of in recent years. I do like the military sci-fi, like so David Weber or the Darkwing series. My dream would be really to do a military sci-fi series at some point as well. But the next best thing is to do a space battle on another sci-fi show.
Well, I know you've been talking about the military thing for a while on your blog, so
yeah. It's one of many balls in the air. We'll see.
Gets pretty heavy in my second book, just saying.
Ooh.
Oh, interesting.
Or you could do like a Star Blazers thing, like an anime
Yeah.
space opera.
Now, Joe, he three here says, "Well, why don't you let me do this?" But three really doesn't know how to be technical as well, right? He's just BSing, right?
I was going to say.
Well, I mean, it's just kind of the classic, someone is working on something and they're not getting anywhere and you're frustrated and you're like, let me take over. And it's really more than that, than him necessarily thinking he's an expert. In his mind, he's like, I may not be an expert, but I'm certainly more qualified than you, obviously.
Gotcha.
You can see the counterfeit Blue Jays hats behind there.
Yeah.
Hello, Simone. Good to see you.
Simone?
Hey.
Yeah, she's in there.
She subbed to Jeff's channel. All right. Now, Jeff, is there anything that you're working on right now that you cannot talk about?
That you'd like to talk about?
No. Well, no, actually, usually there's always NDAs and stuff, but I was surprised. Yeah, the Deadly Divorce Party, that's in the works. I did a movie this summer. I got to do that up north at a resort, playing the owner of the resort, so that was fun. I did Murdoch Mysteries, a few other things recently. And then video games. I can't talk about some of them, unfortunately, but the new Rainbow Six Siege, just did that, and yeah.
The Deadly Divorce Party one. Do you have any idea what format it's going to be released on? What streaming service?
It's going to be Lifetime. It's
Oh,
a
okay.
lifetime drama.
Okay, cool.
But yeah,
Jeff, you are the only reason why I will ever watch Lifetime.
Yeah, same here. You don't usually hear that Lifetime.
I've done a few that I liked. It was the worst title in the world, Mummy's Little Princess. It was a really good movie. I was proud of it, and I played the nicest dad. Like, I almost wanted to strangle myself because he's so nice. But it's a good movie.
That's crazy. Cool.
I wanted to ask Angela: Is there any possible roles coming up in an Angela novel for Jeff?
I'm having mic trouble. Okay.
I'm sorry for your mic trouble. I apologize.
I apologize for the noise here because I don't have professional setups like all y'all fancy people do. I'm just starting out here, so. Actually, of course, Jeff knows this too, and that's why I tease him about it. But he has to be Elliot. I have in causality, I have this entire saga written out, and Elliot is at the center of it, and it's Jeff. It's always been Jeff.
Aw.
That is so sweet to me.
Also, of course, the second book I wrote, also you launched that one. I think I signed your book with launching. Basically, at one point in time, I made a proposal to Jeff, and I asked him if he would be the Johnny Depp to my Tim Burton.
Aw.
Oh,
That's
awesome. That's awesome. Well, that's very flattering to have so many writers writing for characters for you, like Angela and Joe. What an honor.
I'm very fortunate, seriously, and I appreciate it. I really do. You're so sweet, seriously.
Thank you, John Burns. Joe, if you do a military sci-fi thing, could name the ship the Blue Nose. Could you name it the Blue Nose? That's a question. Sorry.
Okay. Is this? I don't know what this is a reference to, but okay.
He's gonna name it the Nina Infinity.
Yes, actually, that's first and foremost the Nina Infinity.
Can you tell us what the reference is, John?
Isn't the Blue Nose a Canadian racing ship from the turn of the century, last century?
No, Mr. Trivia. Maybe? I guess.
It appeared on the dime. I think it still is on the dime. It's that ship.
Really? Okay.
I'm still basically amazed because even though, I kind of laughed it off, I'm starting to think about it, and the Nina Infinity would make an amazing ship name.
Exactly. Thank you.
Yeah. Filing that one away.
Now we have two things we're gonna do: spaceship name and elf in space with Santa.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah,
We're gonna collaborate.
John, tell us the reference to that. And Matt Ryan, who is our Dark Matter weapons designer, fan. He's a fan weapons designer. London Invasion was amazing. Ask Jeff about the birthday cake.
Yeah, there was a few, but yeah, they were exceptional. They made Anders figures on there. Again, I'm surprised I remember any of that weekend as well. But yeah, it was amazing cakes. We had so much fun. Roger was there, of course, as well, and Jodell. And that place is the best Comic-Con. They treat you so well, and the people were incredible. But of course, it was my birthday, so it was a complete nightmare the next morning. But it was fun.
And that was a funny comment. Tom says it sure beats the brown nose.
Brown nose.
Man.
That could be the enemy ship.
Yes.
And I could totally see the Nina Infinity. That's a very Expanse name for a
I
ship.
was thinking more so the culture novels.
And we see here how 6 and 2 are trying to survive on the Marauder, and they figure out a way to extend their time together. Well, actually, two kind of sacrifices herself. Is it hypoxia, Joe, when she's seeing Nyx? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Man, everyone on this show gets hypoxia at one point or another.
Which is true. The guys is her now, basically. Only
The android's just sitting in the corner like humans.
And I guess we're going to have to ask you this already, Jeff. Have you ever seen the Orville, and would you ever want to audition for it?
I haven't seen it yet. No, I apologize. I know that's a bad thing to say, but I don't want to lie.
No,
I haven't gotten
Cue
around
the
to
gasp.
it yet. I'm so limited on time, and I have such a huge list of shows that are old that I haven't even got to. So, but one of these days.
Were you a Star Trek fan growing up at all?
Yeah, I love the original Star Trek to this day. My daughter and I will even watch some of the episodes on Netflix and that just for fun. I love showing that stuff to her. Yeah, she's cool. She likes that, and we watched the entire Twilight Zone from start to finish together as well. So I love
Oh,
the
that's
older shows.
awesome.
That's more than I could do. That show freaks me out.
That's my favorite
love
show
the
of all time.
Me too. I love the Twilight Zone. It's amazing.
And thank you, Walter, for clearing that up. Blue Nose was a gag rig schooner. Yeah, Jeff was right. Wow.
It was a world champion or something like that. We Canadians take great pride in things that happen around the world, like Brian Adams or something.
Like the arm. Like I remember
the Canada arm, yes.
the Canada arm. Like I still remember in school it was like the biggest pride, and like we're like reading about how all these like rocket ships and stuff were made from the States and Russia, and then we're like, we made the arm.
The arm on the space shuttle, right?
Yeah.
For everybody who's not, yeah.
That's a
Oh.
Canadian thing. You get excited. I just started watching, although we haven't finished it, but we started watching Deadwood. Again, it's this old show that everybody tells you to watch. And in the first season, Timothy Oliphant says, I'm from Etobicoke, Ontario. And I just about spun in my chair. I couldn't believe this. That's my hometown, right? And he's talking
that's cool.
about Canada. So, yeah.
It's so crazy when you hear Canada things. You're like, yes. Oh yes, good stuff. Canada's good stuff. I miss Tim Hortons.
Oh my gosh, Tim Hortons. I would straight up, if I was given the opportunity, have a cup of their whipped cream. Like that I would just
Just
eat
a
their
cup of their
whipped cream.
whipped cream.
Oh
Their
my
whipped cream.
Oh,
That is
yeah.
the weirdest thing I've ever heard, Katie.
Yeah, it's so delicious. Like I would go and I would just be like, "Can I get the largest hot chocolate you have, but like only fill it halfway and just put the rest as whipped cream?" They closed that store pretty quick. I don't know if it's because of me or not.
You should find out where it is made and just get the cream then.
It
The
comes
funny
in a
thing is,
bag.
I tried. I literally
I bet it
tried.
does.
It does. My son, his first job was there, and he'd bring home all these different things, and I saw this strange bag. What is that? Never seen milk in a bag, for the States.
Yeah.
And there was whipped cream in a bag, and I was going, really? And it was pretty good. We used a lot of it, but not
If I
straight
had
up.
that, I would. Oh my gosh, yeah, that straight up. The things that I can eat without anything else: whipped cream, cottage cheese. Most of
Cottage
cheeses.
cheese.
Now that I think about it, yeah.
Cottage cheese.
By itself.
Oh, this is coming from Joe, who posts the grossest you could ever see
But it's all
on Twitter.
mixed
Like, would you
together,
eat this? And I'm like, no.
I'm always a little embarrassed when I show stuff because I want to try half of it,
You see?
but only half.
Yeah, you have
Be
some good
adventurous.
recommendations too.
The other day you posted like, oh, would you eat like what was it? A hummus milkshake. I was like, hell no, I'm not gonna eat a freaking hummus milkshake.
It's not like I'm
Gross.
making this stuff up. I'm just reporting the facts. There's a product out there. Someone is serving a hummus milkshake.
I wanted to ask Joe if he's tried that. Have you tried it? Because I want
I
to try
have
it.
not. I have
I
not.
don't-
I would probably try most stuff. It's funny. I did one yesterday that was. It's essentially it's a breaded cutlet, but it's a giant breaded cutlet, and so it's called an elephant ear cutlet. And I said, elephant ear cutlet, yes, no, and some poor woman on Twitter was like, oh my god, it just breaks my heart to know that you sacrificed an elephant for this.
Oh my
I
god.
was like, oh, and I was.
Ooh.
Bless her heart.
Yeah, I wanted to kind of reach out, but I think somebody did tell her, but she ended up deleting the tweet afterwards.
I just think it's
Aw.
funny that you're like hummus milkshake, yes or no, but cottage cheese.
Yeah,
Like,
cottage
I'll draw a
cheese
line
is
on cottage
sort of.
cheese.
Hey, I haven't tried hummus milkshake, so I can't speak to it, but I have tried cottage cheese. It's terrible.
Oh, that is.
Oh,
And
you're
thank you,
so
John Burns.
sweet.
John says, but Nina Infinity sounds like a great sci-fi show, says John Burns.
I agree. I agree.
There you go.
Great sci-fi show, great spaceship name, great
Coming
main
to
character.
Netflix. Coming to Netflix in November. Nina Infinity.
Great main character. You can cast me as the main character. It's
And we see Five taking Bubba out for a spin.
Yes.
He loves that gun.
The girls flex their muscles here. First Five, then Truffaut, and then finally our android. And in when I originally scripted this scene, I don't even know what the heck I was thinking, but it was a lot more elaborate. Where essentially what happens is they enter the underbelly, and Five ends up cutting gravity, so they end up all kind of floating up. At which point, Android springs out of the crate and just kind of kind of rotates it and kind of kills them all. And John Stead, who's our stunt coordinator, was like, yeah, there's no way we can pull that off. So this was kind of the compromise, which is kind of like more kind of, when you have to compromise, if you use humor I think that helps a lot. So she was kind of full Rambo.
This scene was badass.
Mhm.
I love that scene.
I giggled so hard. I was like, she's enjoying this.
I did the thing.
I would too.
Imagine if they hadn't have gone down there though. Like
would've
just sitting in a great.
She was still waiting.
Yeah.
It would have been so amazing if she had said, "Say hello to my little friend" as she came out.
You know, it's funny you mentioned that because that's one of the notes I got. They were like, I got a note. She should say something like, say hello to my little friends. And I was like, why would she say that? Why would the android say that? Why would the android know that? And I had this, it was like a discussion I had for like an hour. Like it was like, she should have a line, And so basically the compromise was her blowing.
Okay. I see.
Yeah.
Which was also badass.
Yes. So
It was very Clint Eastwood moment.
Yeah.
Now here's a question from someone who's never shot a gun before. Does that really happen? Like, do guns actually smoke when you shoot them?
Yeah. When they're
It depends on a couple of things. It depends on the caliber and also the type of gunpowder that's used in the shell. There are some that are low smoke and you'll never see any, and then there's some that they're dirty. And most guns don't use them nowadays. I mean, some do, but they're dirty and they put a lot of smoke out.
I would imagine you would have to be really careful doing that, though, because you don't want to burn your face. I would imagine
Exactly.
like that thing is like really.
Yep.
Yeah. I would probably do it though, like in real life. Like,
Yeah.
if I shot a
Yes.
gun enough that it's like smoking, I would be like, "Hasta la vista, baby," and then I would like,
Gun
I
safety.
mean, you would have to.
Gun
Used to do it
safety.
in their
Never
films.
put your face close to that end of the barrel. Never.
This is a rule of thumb.
Yep.
Right.
Exactly.
I would do it. Sacrifice for movie aesthetics.
I'm trying to remember. Is that the same? Did she shoot more than once or twice? Because I remember there was a scene when she shot, and there was a close up of the gun up to her face, and it was so cool. I think I watched it 3-4 times in a row. It's just the reaction she had was so cool.
In episode 2, she also ends up shooting, like killing an entire room full of people.
I think
And
that
she
was
has
it.
like the gun. Yeah, and sorry, episode 2 of season 2, kill them all. When
To kill them all, yeah.
tells her to kill them all, and she
face
does.
and the way the gun did everything was so
Yeah.
cool. I remember
Yeah.
I rewound it because it was just so cool watching it.
Mm-hmm. Good point, Tom.
You could also blow your face off.
Android don't care.
It's worth it for movie aesthetic. You have to do it.
And this is a great shot from the perspective of the drone
Mm-hmm.
of trying to kill Jeff.
As it should.
I'm always impressed with actors and actresses when they can make facial expressions towards inanimate objects or towards, here's your target, look at this is how you react. It just impresses me. I don't know how you guys do it.
Hey, Ron Murphy told me to do it, so I did it.
There is not a more expressive actor anywhere than Jeff, though. Every line on his face tells the story when he's doing his lines.
Well, thank you. I didn't notice, but
Aw.
So humble too.
Nate asks Joe I just lost it.
Yeah, the
if
Asimov.
if the androids in the dark matter universe are beholden to Asimov's laws, and they are certainly not beholden to Asimov's law. I think the first is you can't do harm to a human being, I think, or do harm to a human. I think that's one of the first laws. And
That is the first law.
yeah, and clearly our androids have broken it time and time again.
Mm-hmm. And that's the fear that's going to happen in our world. When Elon Musk, merges man and machine at some point, that the machines will just be like, "F you guys, we're just going to take over now."
those MIT dogs.
Pretty much all of the AI that they've done so far has pointed out all the reasons why we're horrible and stuff. So
Those MIT dogs are next level. And the way they abuse them, like the Boston Dynamics dogs, and like the way they abuse them, and they like, oh my god, it's crazy, freaks me out.
You're screwed. That's why I treat all my technology nicely.
Adorable.
Jeff Gap Stargate asks, he wants to ask you about the upcoming movie Upstream, and can you talk about the return of Gabriel, the Gabriel movie?
Oh yeah, that was a short we did a few years ago, but yeah, it was a beautiful film. I'm really proud to have been a part of it. I played how do I not give things away? I played the father who was in jail, who was coming back and trying to reconnect with his daughter. And there's a lot more to it. It's almost sort of like a ghost story. But yeah, I went to town on that one. I really enjoyed it.
Cried.
Yeah, thank you.
That one made me cry.
It was really good. Yeah, I mean, I went to some pretty dark places when I was doing that too, but I think it came out well, so I was happy. Got to wear a prison outfit.
Oh, nice.
Wow. Again, this is Jeff's channel, guys. Please make sure you're subbed to Jeff's channel. No pressure, Jeff. No pressure. Sorry.
The pressure's on now. I'll upload. So you know what I'll do is I'll upload that clip of the before and after, maybe of the scene when I'm dragging Anthony Lemke or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Yes, that would be great.
Please.
Yeah, I'll put that up. It's pretty cool. You can see the before and after.
You know what else you can put up if you have any like footage from like you being in the studios doing like voicing for voice actors. People love seeing stuff like that if you're allowed to.
No, that's every day. If you go to Instagram, my story, even right now, I'm constantly posting in this room here, the Octagon.
There you go.
Having fun with it, yeah.
Just upload it on YouTube too. There you go. It's all your content.
My daughter is obsessed with YouTubers, as I think all kids are. So
yeah, that's the new thing.
Yeah.
Well, just Instagram is this way. You have to have the camera this way for YouTube. Drives me nuts when people don't figure that out.
And by the way, thank you, Neil, for putting for putting up those laws, Asimov laws. And I thought this was a very I was going to put this up earlier, Joe. I thought this is a very cool moment, cool scene, the hug.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it was great.
Well, once again, it just goes to this kind of the special bond that these two have, and the fact that sort of the android is obviously kind of still learning.
It's like one of those awkward hugs you give to someone that you meet at church, but you aren't quite sure what their name is. So you're just like, I guess I can trust you.
I think I said this before, but I remember the Sci-Fi Wire did I think something like the top 20 best robots or androids in science fiction. And they didn't put our android in. And I was like, it's too bad they didn't actually watch the show, because if they had, she certainly would have made the list.
Absolutely. Yeah.
She was such a sympathetic character.
Oh, yeah.
It's always amazing.
You wanted her to become human, but at the same point, I'm almost glad I didn't see it happen, because I still have that feeling of I want her to be complete. I don't know. It's hard to describe.
Yeah.
It's like
We're sending you a big
Ross
hug, John.
Rachel.
No.
John Burns.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hugs and cottage cheese.
A lot of people say that, by the way. A lot of people say they miss hugs, they miss handshaking, they miss, hopefully we'll get back to normal soon.
Miss handshaking.
Human connection.
Isn't there a Pornhub category now for hugs?
That's funny.
Oh,
Joe, during Joe's new sci-fi series, Nana Visitor, I'm sure we'll find out all the new laws of androids, says John Burns. Thank you, John Burns. And we're sending a big hug to you, John Burns. John is far north in Canada, I think. And maybe there's not a lot of people around. So,
you know what? You can hug a balloon full of cottage cheese.
Yeah.
Or pets.
Or pets. Yeah, I guess they wouldn't expire as quickly.
And
Depending on what they are, they speak first. So
Yeah.
any thoughts, Odega, as a writer? Any thoughts on the Nix and 2 scene?
I don't have anything other than, and I mentioned this last week too, when the characters can draw out emotions in whoever is paying attention. You know, the writing's good, the acting is good, and watching Nix's face when she was doing this, and you think it's just a plain blank face, but when you actually look at it, it's just the acting skill is just, I was amazed at everyone on this show, and with everything combined, it was really, really touching, and I thought it was brilliant.
One of the things I really loved about this episode was kind of like the I guess the duality, or I don't know what the right word is, to when 2 and 6 were trapped in the ship, and they were talking about what happened, and you know, how 6 was like, well, like, you know, I didn't think he would be capable of something like this, and just going back and forth about 4's betrayal and what he, like, the extent of what he did and how they felt about it, and just coming to, you know, realize that their friend kind of betrayed them and everyone. And that, like, it was just so real, because that's happened to me in real life, where like a friend betrays you and you just can't accept that is really who they've become, and that this is the path that they're going to walk down. So I really love that interaction between them, and this, like, you know, this duality, like, really, like, is he gone for good? Like, is there a way to reach him again? Or, like, you know, anything, you're trying to grasp onto that humanity, right? And I love that.
Yeah, and there is, you know, there is almost kind of that sense that despite the bad things he's done, there's an opportunity for maybe redemption. But the fact that he killed Nix takes that away.
Exactly.
After that last episode, I just was like, all right, kill him. I don't care at this point.
But he is not directly responsible for her death.
Exactly.
Still off him.
Well, who knows what the future holds?
Well, I remember when I saw that, and I was like, when you know, when he was like, did you see anyone else there? And she was like, no, and she lied about it, like that she killed Nix. I was like, oh, she's so dead. Like, the second he finds out that she killed, like, you know, his girlfriend and then lied about it, he's gonna kill her ass.
Like,
that
he's
was
gonna find out sometime or another when she stops responding to his calls.
Yeah. You'll find out soon.
Now, Jeff, any when you guys are filming, Joe and Jeff, when you guys are filming the scenes with the surveillance robot, are there any indicators being used, or are you just like looking off into space?
You want to answer that, Joe?
I guess it really depends. I mean, for this scene, I don't think I was there for this particular scene, but we had the gray ball. Did they use the gray ball?
At times, and then other times it was just pointed out where we needed to look.
Right.
I'm just amazed you can't see my bald spot.
You have a bald spot.
They do an amazing job with technology and hair and makeup.
And that's great, John Burns. That's great. Thank you, John Burns. It's great that you have gotten your vaccine. Good for you.
Hey, I got mine on last Thursday.
Which one did you get?
I got Pfizer, a Michigan vaccine for a Michigan girl.
Nice.
Yeah, I was knocked out. I couldn't move my arm. I was sitting on the couch. I was just like, oh boy.
People say that it really killed your arm.
Oh yeah, I called in sick because I have to use my arms for the green screen, and I could only point to like the lower third of our area. It's just like, you know what? I have 8 sick days built up. Just slide one
Use
in.
one, sure.
By the way, Jeff, Katie chases tornadoes for a living.
It's
yeah,
great.
I was getting that impression, which is pretty damn cool.
Yeah.
That's a seriously cool thing.
Thanks. Yeah, if you're ever around South Dakota, hop on by.
I honestly, I would love to do that someday. I'm a
Sweet.
weather nut as well with like extreme weather things. So
Nice. Well, I
More of a
mean, yeah.
No.
No, if you ever want to, most time people are too afraid to. So it's open to
No,
anyone
that's-
who wants to. If anyone actually makes it out here, I will take you out.
be careful what you say, because you might end up with me there. And I honestly, when this COVID business is done, if it's ever done, there's so many things I've promised that I'm going to do. That would be the kind of thing that I want to do.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I'm on a free dive with great white sharks. I'm going to racing school for motorcycles and a few other things, and that would be one of them as well.
Sweet.
Wow. Very cool.
One way or another, I'll kill myself.
Oh gosh. See, you have the humor of a meteorologist too. It's perfect.
Now, Katie? Did you think that Anders was going to turn in 3 when you when the Galactic Authority shows up?
I was thinking about that the entire episode, and I think when it came down to it, was like, okay, can you give me my gun back? It's like, if he didn't give the gun back, yeah, he would have turned him over. But like, showing a little bit of faith, give a little here, take a little there. I was like, okay. If he turns 3 and now he's just a jerk. So I'm glad that, it's hopefully that relationship keeps going on.
Yeah, they were fun guys together. Same with Roger's character too. I really enjoyed the playoff with both those guys.
Mhm.
Did you get to keep the uniform?
No, I think Joe and I talked about that once at dinner. I never bothered to ask for anything, and I regret it now because I see people on Twitter and that, saying that they got this. I'm like, damn, why didn't I? Some really cool people that have made me things though, which is kind of neat, and sent them to me. So,
Well, if you ever once the pandemic ends, if you're in the neighborhood, drop by. I got like a bunch of the GA jackets or uniforms.
that
I'm
would
sure
be
I
so
got
cool.
That one, yeah.
I'd wear that at Halloween.
You were like one of the last people I saw before the pandemic shutdown.
Yeah,
Remember.
you gave me the warning and everything like that. I remember I was like, okay, I got to take this seriously.
I remember I was actually coming back from buying N95 masks. I was walking along and there was Jeff, and you were like, yeah, basically it's always one thing or another. And I was like,
Yeah.
actually, no, I think at this time it's for real. You better go pick up some stuff.
I went to the grocery store that night, stocked up on everything. Not
Joe,
toilet paper.
you're in Vancouver right now, right? I always forget because you're
Toronto.
You're in Toronto. Okay. If you were in Vancouver, because my mom lives there, when the pandemic ends, I would go to Vancouver and I was going to totally hit you up and be like, we're going for sushi. What's happening?
You have to come to Toronto then.
Okay, I'll come to Toronto. Okay.
You pick me up on the way. I gotta have sushi for the first time. So
Oh, yes. Okay.
I'll bring the maple whiskey, maple syrup whiskey.
Thank you, Nate.
Yeah, Nate, and put in your channel, Nate, because you have a channel too. Jeff, how do you feel about this whole format of? Because Joe's been very open to it. This format about going online and interacting with your chat and your audience. How do you feel about that for your channel?
Yeah, I mean, I'm loving this. I'm actually a couple times thought to myself, I'm dreading you saying it's all wrapped up because I'm enjoying it so much.
Aw.
Oh, really? This is amazing. I love talking with people on Twitter and Instagram stuff as well. I mean, I don't mean to sound fake, but I mean, I'm honestly blown away that people want to talk to me in the first place. So it's a treat for me. It's never been a chore. I really enjoy it. Again, when we did the London Comic-Con, I was completely floored off my. I couldn't believe the response that I got over there, and it just didn't compute. So yeah, I'm in anytime.
Oh, it's fun to watch Angela make you blush too.
She has that effect. Hey, there's Ray. I've kept in touch with him too. He's a good guy.
So that's true too, because the very first time I ever actually said anything specifically to Jeff, I told him it was my mission to make him blush every day.
You have done that on numerous occasions.
Can you tell us the actor's name again, Jeff?
Ray.
Gotcha.
I know his name, and I'm losing my mind right now. But
No, it's
Ray,
okay.
He's a great actor. He's actually married to one of the leads on Winona Earp as well.
Awesome.
By the way, Nate, thank you very much. Nate said, Joe and Jeff, I just want to say on behalf of everyone, thank you guys very much for spending time with us. Really do appreciate it. Well, thank you for Nate and everyone for taking the time to tune in. And thank you to PJ and the amazing panel for having us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Thank yous all around.
Yes. I have another question for you, Jeff. If you were to get a job at any sci-fi right now, like any sci-fi show that you're like, oh my God, I want to work on the show right now, what would it be?
Oh man, that's a tough one. A show that's currently playing right now.
Mm-hmm.
I guess right now, The Expanse probably. I was a fan of it before I got on it. So yeah, I mean, it's a good show. I mean,
it's a great show. One more season, baby. Let's go, Jeff on The Expanse. We got to get you there.
Mars, Earth, or Belt.
Yes.
So yeah, there's so much good television right now. It's freaky.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I have a contract with my wife. We watch certain shows, and she cheated on me the other day and started watching Succession, which I'm really angry about when I was away. I don't know if you've seen that, but that's an incredible show. I've seen the first 2 episodes now.
No, I haven't.
And it's so good. But it's just, I can't keep up. There's just so many good shows and so many genres of I can't see it all. There's just not enough time.
I did a mutual exchange with one of the guys at work. He said he would watch DuckTales if I watched My Hero Academia.
Mm-hmm.
I have now spent over $100 on My Hero Academia merch, and I have binged the entire series in 2 weeks. So
Jodelle is a huge fan.
Really?
Yes, I think she's cosplaying as one of the characters.
She does it a lot. Yeah,
I have to look that up.
She's a cosplayer.
If any of you haven't seen the show, like it's freaking. I went into work and I just lectured to the guy who did the exchange with me. I was like, why the hell didn't you tell me about this? And it just, oh my gosh, it will kill you, but it's so good.
Isn't it cool though, the choice that you have, and you can go back for a long ways. There's just, again, so much choice of excellent programming. It's freaky though.
If you were to get on The Expanse, what do you identify as more as like what Odega asked, Mars, Belt, or Earther?
I like them all, really. I guess because I'm tall too, I'd probably be a good what do you call
Martian.
it, belter. But I like them. I like the Martian characters. A guy I know a little bit, Greg Brick. We worked together on Far Cry, and before I knew him, he was on that. He was so good. You know, again, you're seeing this Canadian actor up there that's just killing it. And I remember at the time thinking, man, the guy was inspiring. He was so good, but he had such a great character as the Martian. So yeah, I go with Martian.
Yes, very good choice.
Greg owes me money now.
Joe, it really seems like we have lost 4. It seems like we have no 4
Seem
left.
that way. But I mean, who knows what the future holds?
Hopefully
knows?
All of us except Katie.
Yes.
Oh wow, Katie is
Aren't
like
you lucky?
hopefully death. Katie's bitter.
If he's not 4, I don't want him.
Wow.
Damn.
See, I admire you. You get to watch this for the first time. The best thing they could invent is a machine that gets rid of your memories on television. You know, like the thing on Men in Black.
Yeah.
So you can rewatch that.
That would probably be one of the greatest inventions of mankind, and then it would be
I
nice, and then it
know.
would be sad.
It's
Human
like my
productivity
friend.
would come to a standstill. No one would do anything.
Yeah.
My friend John's watching Star Trek TNG for the first time right now, and I'm like,
Is he? John,
yeah.
He's watching it for the first time?
and because he knows me now, and I'm like, you have to watch it, and he's like, okay.
Good for you, Nina.
So now he's been starting to watch it, and I'm like, I envy your virgin eyes because I want to watch TNG again for the first time.
Did you guys get a kick out of the android's apron and her like Odega was saying before, her
Yes. So
love was a part of the recipe? What was the phrase exactly?
Oh,
Oregano.
gosh, now you got me. I know it. The
Something
secret
above.
ingredient is basil.
Basil. That's
She
what it was.
pauses and like, oh wait, and love, but mostly basil.
Oh my gosh.
She's got that 50s kitchen look.
That and the food actually looks like quality good food. Like I know it's a TV show, but it puts all my cooking to shame.
I mean, but she's an android, so obviously she does everything to perfection, including
Watch Joe's new cooking channel have Zoe Palmer as the
Yeah.
Yeah, but Joe, you're known for having good catering and stuff on sets as well. So that translated. into the
Yeah,
plots.
I don't know about. To be honest with you, the catering in Toronto is not good compared to Vancouver. Like on Stargate, I put on 15 pounds in my first year on Stargate just because the catering was so amazing. Then I came to Toronto and I was like, what the?
It's that bad compared to
Yeah.
That's a whole new concept of the freshman 15, huh?
I don't know. Because I was a musician, I was dirt poor for a lot of it. And I always remember doing a movie once and the producers taking me for lunch. And I remember thinking, why would you leave the set? They give you free food. Like, dude, every freaking day. It's the same, so I get it now, I guess, but yeah.
And of course, Joe, as soon as Joe is giving us this lovey-dovey family moment, and Six is like, "Oh, well, we should all sit down. Why don't you guys sit down? We all let's have lunch together."
Android joins them, of course, because she's part of the family.
That's true. Yes. And then all of a sudden, 2 says, "We got to go kill Rio."
Back to reality.
It's just a perfect holiday dinner for most families. Just let's go off that cousin.
That's true.
That was dangerous, Katie. I was drinking.
Yeah.
Does Jeff know about Resident Alien with Alan Tudyk and even produced by Robert Duncan McNeil? Have you watched that show, Jeff?
No, but that came up somewhere. I don't know anything about it. I just know that someone's mentioned Resident Alien to me.
I've heard extremely good things, but this is a sci-fi show. I don't trust sci-fi. They cancel everything. It's like I'm gonna give it time. I'm gonna give it time before I
watch the first season. It's worth it. You have to see it. Watch it. It's fantastic. It's hilarious and it's smart.
I
Sorry,
have
it's not
trust
Joe,
issues
but it's
with
still
sci-fi.
hilarious and smart. I do
Didn't
too, but the first
Sci-Fi
season's
cancel-
really worth it. It really, really is.
Didn't Sci-Fi cancel Dark Matter too, and then Netflix picked it up?
No. Dark Matter was always on Netflix. It's kind of a second window. But you're correct in the first, actually. They did cancel Dark Matter.
There's a little bit of salt thrown in there. I like it.
Yeah. I'm not down with sci-fi. I think that's what it was. I think like after that happened, I was like, I'm boycotting sci-fi. I don't think I've watched anything on sci-fi since that happened.
Same for me, yeah.
I've gone a step further and I've muted the word sci-fi from my my Twitter feed. So
Can't say I blame her.
anything but just
Wait till Joe finds out what one of our sister channels is going to be named.
Oh no.
Well,
It's going to be a little different.
SCI-FI.
It's going to be a little different. It's going to be a
I
little
remember actually, as kind of a showrunner, sometimes I will get projects presented to me, and look at the kitty. Someone sent a sci-fi project, but they spelled sci-fi instead of SCI-FI, spelled it SYFI. And just on that basis, I had to pass on the project.
Oh my
Your channel's
god,
out of
that's
control.
funny.
Started shaking. reading the
That's
script.
crazy, Joe. You canceled because of that, or you passed because of that?
Yeah, I just left a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah, that's fair, man. That's fair. I would too.
I brought the Italian.
I was
version of
just
the
gonna say
Persian
you're
temper.
Italian. Yes, we hold grudges.
It's funny. I was talking to my mother today, and she was talking about my father who passed away, and she was like, I don't know if you're like this, but your father would hold grudges, and that's one thing I'm kind of notorious for because I'm really super patient with people, and I try to be really nice. But if you push me to a certain point of no return, then you go in my bad books, and there's no way. So
You
Nina
don't
and
want
I
to be there.
feel like we're soulmates. You know,
We are. We are. We totally are.
It's the must be a Mediterranean thing there.
It is. It's very true.
Mhm.
And we see here that 5, Joe's left a little surprise for the very end, and we see here that 5 is and I thank you for mentioning that before, Joe, about that little what you mentioned about 5 getting that little hint in the past episode.
Well, and actually, season 1, episode 7.
Season 1, episode 7. Okay.
Yeah, Natalie Brown, who plays Sarah, is a fantastic actress who actually knew Anthony before she actually landed the role, and so it was kind of a nice reunion for them to actually work together.
Cool. Now, how often is it that you'll have actors on a show, regulars on a show, and they'll know the guest star from like just personal life or professional working together?
I know sometimes it's really surprising. Like apparently Zoe went to school with Enes Esmer, who played Wexler.
Yeah.
That I did not know.
Cool.
It's a small world up here, I think.
Yeah.
And even with the US stuff too, you see a lot of familiar faces a lot of the time. It's surprising.
Joe, Neil asked, any more scripts for a series of Dark Matter from your blog? Any?
Yeah, what actually I did was just because I didn't want to leave fans hanging, and is I took the stories that we were spinning in the room for season 4, and I ended up condensing them into kind of a little outlines and so I did them for episodes 1, 2, and 3 of season 4. So the fans are not left hanging. You will know sort of how what happens after the season 3 finale.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So you're possibly pitching the miniseries, as a finale kind of thing, maybe. Would you change the storylines if that was to go ahead, so there would be surprise? Or
I wouldn't change the storylines I have in mind, but for instance, because time has passed, I wouldn't be just do episode 4 or 1 and pick up where we left off. I would find a way to sort of do a time jump where, you know, we revisit the world, but kind of things have changed as a result of how we left things off in the finale. And you know, I already kind of have a plan. Which
that's cool. Yeah, I've thought about that a lot. If you could do that, how you would approach it.
Yeah,
I would. A lot of other people have.
Yeah.
What might happen to Anders in the future, Joe?
Who knows? I definitely had plans for Anders. In fact, actually, I sort of mentioned it to Jeff. We just kind of discussed it, and that was one of the things we were kind of setting up as well. But you know, hopefully in the miniseries.
Oh wow! Yeah, there's extra room on the Raza there.
Yeah.
I just want to be an extra.
Yeah.
Just saying.
In the background with bartering for fruit. Yes, here we go. Yes.
Thank you, Galinda.
Maybe they go to the tropical place for like some sort of vacation, and you guys come, you know, film in Cancun, and I'm just, you know, handing out pina coladas or something. I'm down.
Do you remember that, Joe? I remember being at the wrap party at the first or probably the second season, and there was a rumor going around that we were going to shoot the first scene or the first episode in Namibia.
Namibia, yes.
And
I was talking to, actually, that's something that Norman Denver, our line producer, pitched us. And the fact that we would go down and shoot with a skeleton crew, and it would basically be the scenes with you and Anthony, because we kind of wanted an otherworldly realm. And Norman has shot there before, and it was, you know, cheap, but you know, in the end, it wasn't as cheap as we were hoping, and it just kind of never happened. But it would have been interesting.
That would have been.
I really forgot about that. But yeah, that was something we discussed.
I remember Melissa coming up to me like saying, "Is it true?" And I said, "I have no idea. I just heard." She said, "If you get to go to Namibia," or
That's funny.
Wow. Thank you, Galinda. Live long and party on, y'all, says Galinda. Thank you.
Thanks,
And,
Galinda.
and I hope everything down there in Texas is great. And Resident John Burns says Resident Alien got renewed for season 2. Interesting.
Cool.
That's great. I'm still not gonna watch.
Lucky.
It's a sci-fi.
Thank you,
game.
John. And the last picture, the last image we have up, of course, is of Sarah and what is to come.
Gosh.
What is
How do
to
you,
come.
so okay, how do you think 3 will react?
I think
If and
he's.
when he finds out?
Oh, see, I think what he'll do is first he'll like you know that thing where you go up and you smack someone and then you give him a pat on the back and you walk away. Like, I feel like it'll kind of be like that. He'll be mad and then he'll be like, "I kind of wanted her back, so I'll take it." So I don't know. I feel like instant rage followed by okay, then it'll progress from there.
Thank you, Jeff.
Wow. So this is very it's been a real treat. John, do you want to tell us how you came up with the Storgensonen? How did you come up with that?
Because of my insanity. I think there was that. What was that movie again? Dirty Rotten Scandals.
Dirty
They
Rotten
do
Scandals.
something like that, and then I just kept adding ends to it. So keeps getting worse. It's kind of
I
like my
love
own
it.
name, right? It just keeps going on forever. Could have used a stage name.
Yeah.
Again, everybody, Nina is putting in no pressure, Jeff. This is Jeff's YouTube channel.
Be prepared to be underwhelmed.
Aw.
What do I have here? I think I got a Sam Fisher video and something.
You got a Christmas Story Horror of the Lamplight.
Oh yeah, I made a remix of that in
Trailer.
just for fun. Yeah, I made it as a horror trailer.
Prayer
Ooh.
in bunker close to medium Far Cry from it's a Far Cry game scene.
Oh yeah, that's me playing one of the Far Cry characters, and I think you clubbed me in the head, which is perfect for a lot of people that know me. So
Oh, that's amazing. And then you have a Rainbow Six Siege Splinter Cell Sam Fisher reveal.
yeah, that was the reveal thing. I was freaking out. I remember I was up north and I came out and
That's awesome.
You know, Jeff, Joe has been posting bloopers from Dark Matter. Maybe even some bloopers from your voiceovers might be a good content for your channel.
yeah, they'd have to be censored, but actually, it was funny because I was doing them today. We're doing this serious documentary about stuff, and I'd be saying lines like, if this was to happen, then why would this be the reason it is? And I'd say, the Loch Ness Monster. And I kept saying it over and over again. So it was just to make the session fun, but the guys were howling. So, but yeah, do you have any bloopers from, because I'm sure I screwed up somewhere there, but I know
I'm actually working my way through. Sadly, they deleted the ones from season 1 for some reason, but I got a bunch from season 2 and I got a bunch from season 3. And over the past few days, I've been posting them on the top of my timeline, like about a minute each. So I'm on, I think I did 3, my third blooper collection. I'm going to do number 4 tomorrow and see how far I go.
Yeah, I
those
saw
would be
the
fun.
I saw
I
the
love
one on
those.
Twitter of Melissa in the snow being like, "I'm cold. Don't run my line." I was like, "Dude, you needed to pay these people more. I don't know how much."
It would have been very cool.
We did one on the movie I just finished. I was supposed to come through the front door and talk to one of the characters, and imagine like 50 crew, all when I opened the door, all screaming like "surprise" at me, and apparently I looked like I was gonna wet myself or something. But I'd like to see it.
Great. That would be a good one to see for sure.
Yeah, I wonder if someone would put it out. We had some there was some funny ones. I remember the night when we had the party for Utopia Falls, there was some doozers in there too. And I know I had a few. I remember I got what was that? I got sick with strep throat. We were shooting that
I
episode.
remember that.
And I was trying to keep it together. Usually I pride myself in being ready to rock, and man, I couldn't think straight. So there was probably a good share of bloopers there for me. I remember I bought the crew a case of beer after because I felt bad. Because well, what is this? Now I have to go back on one. Yep. Yeah. I'm hiding there somewhere probably. Sarah Jett. I keep seeing all these names from Twitter that I recognize. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for being Jeff. By the way, thank you for being very interactive with us on Twitter. You've always supported the this podcast. I was going to say this stream, so I appreciate that.
I appreciate what you're giving me. Honestly, like again, I'm not joking or trying to be false, or whatever. I'm blown away when people want to talk, so I'm happy to do it.
And I'm just looking for a question here that I saw from one of the people in the chat, but I can't find it. So
there's been so many comments tonight. It's just constantly refreshing on the side of the screen.
Yeah. Are you a Stargate fan, Jeff?
Yeah, I love the show as well. Actually, you know what's funny about Stargate? I think I told you this, Joe. One of the jobs I used to do to make extra money was I described television shows and movies to the blind.
Oh,
Stargate. Yeah, Stargate was one of the shows that I used to describe.
Huh.
Cool.
So yeah, it would be interesting. You know, I would a character would walk in a room and I would describe what they're wearing and who they're looking at and everything like that. And it was cool because I actually met a few people who used the service, and they said that was their lifeline to, I remember one of them saying the real world. So it was kind of an added bonus as well. Yeah.
Cool.
And Gap Stargate, who does promos for Dark Matter Monday, requests, would you follow him back on Twitter? No pressure, but if you want, you can follow him.
No pressure at all.
Sure.
Thank you so much, Jeff, for your time. Joe, any last words?
No. I'm trying to think. Episode 302. Oh, yeah. If Katie, do you watch Kim's Convenience at all?
I don't think so. I've heard of it though.
Okay. It's a special little treat for Kim's Convenience fans.
Huh, I can binge it.
No need. And there's a kind of fun story to go with that. But episode 2 shifts focus to 5.
Oh,
She's in the spotlight.
Nice.
cool.
I've always wanted to watch Kim's Convenience.
I've heard good things.
The lead actors are Jean Yoon and Paul are just amazing, and I would highly recommend checking it out. Paul Sun-Hyung Lee is one of the leads, and he plays the father, and I think it's Oppa and Oma. I think Korean.
I'm definitely gonna have to check this out because I love like sitcoms like this.
But Paul is like the biggest sci-fi nerd, which is kind of amazing. Like when we'll go to like a Comic-Con and he'll be there in his full Ghostbusters uniform, and he had actually a cameo in I think, is it the Mandalorian? Probably as kind of a pilot, a fighter pilot. It was like only like a 3-second cameo, but it just kind of blew up on Twitter, which is great.
That's great.
Yeah, but more on that next week.
And Jeff, again, remind us what's coming out. Divorce Party is going to be out.
Well, eventually. We just finished shooting, but there's that. Love Upstream is coming out soon. That's a romantic comedy movie. And some other stuff that I can't remember right now, but lots of commercials. You're probably hearing me if you're listening to your television.
In Canada, right?
Where's Love Upstream going to be?
Love Upstream, I'm not sure. I think it's a Hallmark.
So it sounds like a Hallmark.
But I mean, I voice for like Kia in America.
Oh.
So you're like things like that. I do a lot. Actually, it's funny. I'm working more in the UK now for voice than I am anywhere else, really. A director a while ago told me, he said, we use American voices. You should get representation here. And I searched around and ended up with a great agency. I mean, we got Ewan McGregor on my roster and everybody like that. So it's
Oh, cool.
pretty cool company. Yeah. But yeah, it's I'm surprised that they seem to be using me a lot.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Wow. Congratulations. Well, I want to thank you again, Jeff. Joe, thank you both of you for coming. Angela, thank you for joining us. Odega, Katie, Nina, thank you. And Jeff, you get the last word.
No, seriously, I really want to thank you for having me. It's been an absolute ball. It was great to see Angela in real life too. So honestly, thank you. I really appreciate it. All of you outside of the room as well.
Thank you. And thank you, Lord Thoth, Kareen, John Burns, Time Prophet, Kronos, Sarah Jett, Gap, Alan Cox, Louise Sparrow, Tom Gardner, everybody, Colin, everybody who's been in here, Neil, everybody who's been in here, everybody who's watching us on the replay. Don't forget to follow Jeff on YouTube. No pressure. And you guys all be safe. Take care.
See ya.
Bye.
What do I do now?
We all watched Nina wave for a minute.
Yeah, we're still live. I usually do the queen wave.